I've been getting a lot of questions about how we make our necks, so today I'm going to show you how we do it. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. So this is what our neck blanks kind of start out like. Sometimes they're one piece so we don't have to glue wings on for the headstock, but in this case we need to glue wings on. It's pretty beefy. It's probably almost 2 inches thick. We're going to grind a bunch of it down first and make it look more like a neck. But so the first thing we have to do is get some flat sides and get it dimensioned correctly. So let's go over to the joiner and the thickness planer and thickness sander, and we're going to make this be right at about 1.5 inches. Let's get started. Oh, mahogany, why can't all woods be more like you? Okay, so we've got our neck blank is dimensioned and flat. That's the important thing. Dimensioned and flat on each side. Now, when I go over the jointer to get a flat side, I like to mark. For some reason, I put a check mark with a little circle around it, but I've always done that. And then I reference off of that side, and I get the other side smooth and flat and wonderful. And right now we're like just a touch over 1.5, which is not bad because I want to be able to take a little bit more off if I need to later on. So I have one planed side and one sanded side. That's also important because when I go to glue my beautiful black poison wood fretboard on here, I want to have a sanded side on it and a sanded side on the neck for it to glue to. So, okay, so like I said, we use the I cheated a little bit. I cut the wings off so I didn't have to make them the same thickness. I went and used the jointer, and then I used my planer and my drum sander to get everything super excelente. And now this neck blank is ready to become more of a neck. So let me show you some of the cool stuff that we use to make that work the same and be consistent every time. Well, there's nothing quite like having a clean workspace to move forward on. So we've got our neck blank here, and we've got a template that our good buddy Steve over at Maximum Guitars built for us specifically for the Challenger. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy centered onto the blank, and we're going to put some double stick tape on it, just a piece here and a piece here, little piece, and we're going to drill some 1/8 inch holes. And those are going to index everything else that we do from now on are going to index off these holes. So like when we put the fretboard on, they're going to have little holes in them and they'll index on there. We're going to be using this template that I made for the shaper, and it's got little pins in it too that will, well, you can see what will happen is if there's holes, they'll just kind of index on there and snap on. I prefer to have a big piece of template material for using the shaper than a small one. So that's why we made this. Okay, let's get it close. Making moves, y'all. Oh, one more thing. This is the sanded side, so that's the side that I want to have be my fretboard side. And because my headstock is asymmetrical, I have to use my tiny brain and make sure I put it on correctly. So you'll notice I didn't draw a center line. That's because I really just want the little ears that will that are this extra wood to look the same on each side. I'm not really too worried about how the rest of it looks. The grain on this is really nice, and it's going to make a super, super cool neck. All right, let's go over to the drill press. All right, I want to go down about 1/4 of an inch into my neck, blank. But, you know, this isn't a critical dimension for us. We're just going to put little sticks in there, so it's not a big deal if you make it slightly deeper or slightly less. That's okay too. One of the nice things about Steve's templates is these hardened steel bushings, drill guide bushings. It's really hard to damage these with the drill, so it just kind of finds the right spot and goes right exactly where it needs to go. While the template is attached to the piece with the tape, I'm going to draw around it, and that way we can cut a bunch of the meat off. And we don't have to do it all with a shaper or a sander. That'd be foolish, wouldn't it? Or a router. We're going to use tools the way they were intended. All right, so now we'll pull the template off and we'll go over to the bandsaw. You know, a lot of people ask me what blades I use on my bandsaw. I have been using the Starrett blades that I've been getting from Woodcraft for years now. And my favorite is the 3/8 skip tooth, every time. All right, now it's time for everybody's favorite, Matt using a wildly dangerous tool with a great big exposed cutting head on it. So to keep things as safe as possible, we've got these paddles on our template. And as you guys can see, these are just gonna, this one's just gonna plop right on here. Okay, so that's good to go, but I wanna back everything with some screws. So I'm gonna put one here, and this screw hole is going to go away when my truss rod goes into the neck. And I want to put one out here on the end of the headstock. That hole will go away when I put the angle on the headstock. So what that's going to do is just kind of keep everything from wiggling around a little bit, and it's going to be perfect every time. All right, let's get this bad dude fired up. guys, you are responsible for this tool. If you press the go button, don't walk away from it until it comes to a complete stop. Okay guys, we're looking pretty good and we're just about ready to cut the angle onto the headstock. Now, I've drawn 3 lines on here. One is the center line and the other 2 are perpendicular lines to said center line that represent where the nut is going to sit, the nut shelf, if you will, the 0 fret and the nut shelf. Now, nobody asked me how to do this because if you don't know, you probably need to go back to geometry class and learn how to use some of those tools, okay? Yeah, that's, you guys know how to do that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to put our neck into this 7-degree sine plate here. And using my beloved pin router, we're going to grind this headstock angle away, and it's gonna be great. Actually lied. I'm going to cut a bunch of this off on the bandsaw and then come back and finish it up on the pin router. Okay, this is the part that I've been getting a bunch of questions about lately. How do we drill the holes for the tuners? And I'm about to show you right now. Using my template, which has the tuner hole centers marked, I'm going to mark them all with this punch. Chris and I have a very cute name for it. If you've been to a class, you've heard this, the cute name. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that everything looks right and everything looks like it's in the center, and it does. Okay, so I've got just 6 little poke marks in the headstock here. And the thing that has been kind of stymieing people is, do we drill perpendicular to the face? How do we do that, etc., etc.? Well, it's easy. I'm actually going to put it back in the sine plate here, take it over to the drill press, and drill 6 10mm holes. I'll show you right now. All right, the jig is all set. As you can see, my 10mm drill bit is perpendicular to the face, which of course is what you want, because if they were at an angle, then the tuners wouldn't fit right. So now it's just a simple matter of drilling 6 holes. I've got a piece of MDF here so I don't booger up my aluminum, and it's going to be easy and fast. You know, one of the cool things about doing the tuner holes while the headstock rather, is still kind of thick is if you have any tear out or chip out, that'll all get cut away when you thickness the headstock. But that's a video for another time. I think this is a great place to stop because what we have to do next is truss rod. We have to put the truss rod slot in, glue the fretboards down. And I've got a bunch of truss rod videos coming out really soon, you guys. So lots of stuff about how to install a bunch of different truss rods from our friends at Bitterroot Guitars. And so watch for those coming very soon. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, gang. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope that you enjoyed learning how we build necks. If you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you really want to have the ultimate experience, you can come out to one of our wood, sweat, and beers guitar building workshops, and you can do all of this stuff yourself. Send me a message and tell me which one you want to do, and I'll tell you what woodworking is involved. And you'll get to do all of this stuff under the watchful eye of Chris and myself. So gang, if you like the video, give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you appreciate content like this, you might want to go over to our Patreon page and consider becoming a member. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you guys neat stuff like this. If you can't do Patreon though, we totally get it. Just share the video as many places as you can possibly think of and help us grow the channel that way. So until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.